Yes, consider this very much the my tribute to Benjamin Zephaniah, a man who inspired me in a number of ways, and was a genuinely great creative force who was from my own hometown, and I think meant a lot to the people here. Benjamin Zephaniah, for those who don't know who they are, or indeed I suppose we should say who they were, because of course they are now dead at the age of 65. Very unfortunately. Following a couple of months ago, it was revealed that he had a brain tumour, so this is not massively unexpected news, but it's still very sad. A great mind has passed from this mortal realm. He was an anarchist, poet, actor and musician. I suppose for Americans, probably most well known as playing the character Jimmy in Peaky Blinders, if you remember that recurring character. He overcame huge personal setbacks as a younger man. He spent time in Borstal, which is like, I don't even know it's like child prison, basically. As well as then going to actual adult prison, unfortunately, when he's a younger man as well. And overcame all of that to reach the level of success and acclaim that his talent definitely warranted. And he's a massive loss for me. There are very few things in this world that make me proud of being British or being a Brummie. Brummie is someone from Birmingham, the city where both I and Benjamin Zephaniah were born and raised, albeit at different times. There are very few things that make me proud of those places and being those things. Benjamin Zephaniah was one of those things for me. He came to prominence, I suppose, during the 1980s, during the time of the destruction of Thatcherism, the neoliberal shock doctrine therapy that was being foisted upon the people of Britain by initially Thatcher and then obviously successive ghoul governments, fucking demon toilet people, governments that have succeeded her over the last 30 years. And he was able to put what he called street politics into his art in a way that very few people have been able to do and be successful with. And spoke with a level of passion and clarity and power that is rare, I think, in someone of his background, I guess, someone from a working class background who wasn't massively well educated initially, and yet rose to a level of prominence because of talent and hard work. And I'm going to show you some clips as we go along on this. He was a genuinely great poet, and that's the thing that must be remembered. This is the one. So this is a poem he did called To Do With Me. This speaks to the kind of political and social energy that he imbued all of his work with.
There's a man beating his wife, the woman just lost her life. They call that domestic strife. What has that got to do with me? Babies are buried on the floors in a church behind closed doors. I don't know the bloody cause. What has that got to do with me? I've seen all the documentaries and there's nothing I can do. I've listened to the commentaries. Why should I listen to you? If I'm told to go, I vote. If I need money, I strike. If I'm told not to, then I won't. I want the best deal out of life. The fit cannot go jogging because there's someone out there mugging when they should be spreading loving. What has that got to do with me? Me and you must just stand back because they're gonna bomb Iraq. It's a surgical attack. What has that got to do with me? I just want to live my life, mate. So just leave me alone. Why should I fight the state when I am trying to buy my home? I just want to earn my bread, guy, and feed my family. You may starve and you may die, but what has that got to do with me? Poets are dying in Nigeria or forced to leave the area. Multinationals are superior. What has that got to do with me? And in somewhere Stan I've heard that she can't say a word and he must grow a beard. What has that got to do with me? What has that got to do with me? I'm just this guy from Birmingham and all I want to do is live good in the hood. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just your average football fan and some foreign teams are very, very good. Why should you worry yourself? You cannot change a single thing. All you got to do is take what you can get. Why should you worry yourself? Try hard and you will die trying. And what can any of us do about the bet? I see 1 million refugees on 20 million TVs and I think, who the fuck are these? What has that got to do with me? Hurry up, I've got no time. Don't you mess with what is mine. Yes, I've signed the dotted line. What has that got to do with me? Your school has just been closed down. Your taxis buying bombs. And although you come from downtown, you don't know where you're coming from. You don't know what you are eating. Your food has a terrible taste. And you can be sure that you are drinking some kind of chemical waste. There's a price upon your head, even though you're newlywed. A police just shot you dead. What has that got to do with me? And down in the police station, they are killing the black nation. But that's normal race relations. What has that got to do with me? What has that got to do with me? What has that got to do with the man upon the corner that is selling guns so we can kill each other as we rave? Or the crackhead who is trying to crack up everyone, taking all your cash as you become a slave? Or the mother in the gutter who is begging bread, where the man dressed in a Gucci heels a cab? All I'm trying to do is praise the Lord, it must be said. And what has that got to do with anything I've had? A baby from Pakistan is making footballs for the man. Or is she an Indian? And what has that got to do with me? And there's no proper propaganda about Malawi or Rwanda. And all this makes me wonder, what has that got to do with me? I used to go on demonstrations. Now my feet can't hit the pace. I have tried to be a vegan, but there's egg up on my face. My last stand was the miners' strike. I did the cop patrol, but now it's central heating that I like and I just don't need any coal. Indonesia needs more British arms for East Timor, more Western bombs to bomb the poor. What has that got to do with me? And over in Algeria, they say there's another massacre. Isn't that a part of Africa? What has that got to do with me? And I don't want to go to an American death row. There's no compassion there, I know. But what has that got to do with me? My gosh! I can see you have been tortured. And your wife has been drawn and quartered. And your children have been slaughtered. What has that got to do with me?
The demonstrators have been breaking up the road.
It's so fucking good. Ah! It's so good. I can't even begin to express how much I love and loved this man. A beautiful, powerful voice. So often a lone voice, it seemed to me. People may remember the clips of him on Question Time. We've watched Question Time on the show before, right? And we did last night. And it's usually full of fucking melters, right? But Benjamin Zephaniah would get on there and in his own way tear down bullshit in a way that nobody else did. To hear someone of that kind of radical political persuasion on TV in Britain is almost unheard of. And that's another thing we've lost with the death of Benjamin Zephaniah, unfortunately. He managed to achieve his success and acknowledgement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Victory is ours.
That's an unfortunate sound effect given the circumstances. Anyway, he achieved his success and sort of acknowledgement and acclaim without ever sacrificing his principles. And his principles were those of an anarchist, right? He was an anarchist man. And I remember specifically this particular little interview, which, again, to hear this kind of thing being said by someone who is being praised or someone who is seen as someone worthy of listening to, not just like some crazy kook or whatever, which, you know, the political left is often advertised as, but someone worthy of respect is, again, incredibly rare.
I'd like to have a revolution, but everybody's too busy shopping. I've got to tell you something.
There's such a beautiful Brummy simplicity to that. I want a revolution, but everyone's so busy shopping. Oh, it's so good. And actually, the last thing I'm going to play to you as a kind of outro bit to this is his poem Money. And there's one specific line in that which is so brilliant. I remember hearing it as a kid, and it literally changed. It genuinely did change my life. What was it? Money makes you worship vanity and lies. Money is a drug we have legalized. It stuck with me in a way that entire books that I've read have flown past me and not stuck in the way that that one simple line did. Or two simple lines, I guess. Perfect distillation of the truth. Being able to express that kind of complex thought in such a simple and concise and understandable way is beautiful.
Something which will kind of, it's going to upset people on the left and it's going to upset people on the right. And I think it's because it's completely misunderstood. And with all respect, I think you misunderstand it. I might be wrong, but you can challenge me on it. I'm an anarchist. I believe this needs to be torn down. I believe we need to start again. I don't believe that we need governments and the kind of models that we have. But I'm also aware that we're not going to achieve that now. You know, I can give you examples of anarchism all over the world. I know places in Asia, I know places in Africa where they see nothing of big government. They see nothing of the government at all, where they police themselves, look after themselves.
Give me an example.
Well, there's tribes I was in Kenya not so long ago, and I was talking to some people there on the border, and I said to them, do you feel Tanzanian or Kenyan? And they went, well, we're just here.
We're just here. It's beautiful. Again, it's a beautiful simplicity. A genuinely beautiful, poetic simplicity to that. We're just here. That's how I feel about the world. I don't give a fuck that some prick drew a line on a map. What does that mean to me? 100 years ago, some wanker drew a line on a map. So? The reality changes from here to over there. We're just here. It's fucking glorious. Absolutely glorious. And yeah, Benjamin Zephaniah achieved all of his success without ever having to sell out. And that's beautiful, isn't it? We talked the other day on the show about the Elon Musk supposedly having, you know, fuck you money. Which in his case he's decided to be, you know, the ultimate fucking racist prick with. But Benjamin Zephaniah, because he was successful, did have fuck you money and used it. Okay, he was able to tell the establishment to go fuck itself and live life on his terms in a way that, unfortunately, whilst his life should give us hope that we can do similar things, unfortunately the reality is that in some cases you won't be able to. Well, we can still look to him and his legacy as a way of living our lives, at least to the best of our ability, and saying no to corrupt systems and things like that. The establishment tried to essentially co-opt him, which we'll get into later with a little bit about the media and its reaction to his passing. But they tried to co-opt him in a number of ways, one of which was they offered him an OBE. Now, for those who don't know, maybe Americans that are listening or whatever, in Britain we have a series of what do you call them? Royal trinkets. Shiny things that the monarch will sprinkle down amongst the commoners. There are essentially supposedly awards for great deeds. And the OBE and MBE and all of these different things. And the BE in all of those stands for British Empire. So that an MBE means you're a member of the British Empire. And you get to call yourself Sir or Lady. Or Dame, is it? Whichever one, I don't fucking know, it's all bollocks. Anyway, the point is, it's royalty approved awards. It's wankery. Absolute wankery. And Benjamin Zephaniah knew that better than anybody. And spoke out vociferously in turning down his OBE, which was based as fuck.
Like, what made you get into doing poetry? Like, you weren't gifted with reading, so
I couldn't read and write. When I left school, I really genuinely couldn't read and write. And even now, I'm very dyslexic. So I left school at 13. No, I didn't leave school. I got expelled. So the teacher said, seriously, outside the school, said, you are a born failure. You are going to end up dead or doing a life sentence.
Okay.
And I remember, you know, to be fair, I did kind of get in trouble with the police. I got on the wrong tracks and everything. But I remember waking up one day and some people were out to kill me, really. I mean, they had a gun coming to kill me. And I was sleeping with a gun underneath my pillow. And I woke up and I remember that teacher saying I'm going to end up dead or doing a life sentence. And I went, right, I'm going to prove you wrong. and I got in a little Ford Escort car, drove to London, slept in Peckham in a car park. And then...
How's it sound about?
And sound systems were big then, and I used to do some toasting on sound systems. And Alexis Sale and Rick Mail and all those people started alternative comedy, and I started doing gigs with them. And Channel 4 came. Channel 4, at that time, Channel 4 was all about alternatives, giving black people a voice, giving a woman a voice, and all that kind of thing.
We got Channel 4
And
back up.
and that, I got that. Lily Allen's father used to have a programme. I think it was called Anything You Like or whatever. And I used to go on there and I used to be doing, "Free South Africa, they better free South Africa because too many children dying down there when people in the West, them just don't care. Free South Africa, they better free South Africa, free Nelson Mandela." You know, you could do anything. And in those times, it was really, I mean, we joke about it all the time, but it was rare to see black people on television.
Yeah, it would have been. Massively so.
Because didn't the police raid one of your gigs once?
Once?
Yeah.
They used to raid it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you, there's one thing that happened to us. It was a community centre. And they used to have a guy there who used to introduce us. So they just got this guy, and he was a nice guy and everything, but he had this false leg. So we were there, and the police came in, and I thought, they're coming for me, you know what I mean? And then they just went past me, and they grabbed the guy, put the guy on the floor, and started to unscrew his leg.
What?
And we were like, "You can't do that, he's disabled." And we were jumping on the police and trying to pull the police off, and then the police unscrewed his leg, took his leg off, and inside his leg it was just full of ganja.
Yeah.
Oh, love it, man.
That's serious.
You know, Benjamin, if you unscrew Nasty's legs, it's the same.
Even more ratings, yeah. You turned down your OBE.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, yeah, just to understand that as well. That's deep. What happened there?
The order, the OBE means Order of the British Empire. MBE is Member of the British Empire. I've been fighting against empire all my life. I've been fighting against slavery and colonialism all my life. I've been writing to connect with people, not to impress governments and monarchy. So how could I then go and accept an honour that puts the word empire onto my name? That would be hypocritical.
All hands on deck. We need help in the base department. There's an overload. What's up?
But I'm so happy about my show. See, my show, like, for us to sit here right now and have this conversation, the fact that we can be here holding this meds with all the audience as well and hopefully giving this information to the world and be done on my show, but it's powerful, fam.
Course.
Because my show's very known for being funny, but it's good to have some depth to it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking true. Yeah. So, yeah, Benjamin Zephaniah, he spoke with like a radical anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, as you saw there, anti-colonialist, anti-slavery voice. And at times during the course of his career, because like he was going from the early 80s through till he died yesterday, which is a long time, you know. He was almost a lone voice at times, almost screaming into the kind of yawning chasm of neoliberal hell that is late-stage, decaying, broken shithole Britain. And he was a shining beacon during that time for a lot of people, I think. But I don't want people to think of him as just being it's all serious or whatever, because there was definitely an element of like cheeky humour and like dry kind of observational wit to the kind of performance element of his poetry and stuff. He was sort of known as a dub poet, so like a kind of performance, sort of Caribbean inspired kind of. He was a Rastafarian at some points in his life, and so to see that come through was always kind of a joy. And I found this little clip. This is lovely. It's a short poem called "I Am Not the Problem," and there's a lovely line at the end, which is kind of a little mic drop, I think. Also, bear in mind the line that you just heard him say in that interview, that the teacher told him he was a born failure, and juxtapose that to the line that you now hear in this poem. It's quite nice.
Stop blaming each other for our failures. You see? I am not the problem, but I bear the brunt of silly playground taunts and racist stunts. I am not the problem. I am a born academic, but they got me on the run. Now I'm branded athletic. I am not the problem. If you give me a chance, I'll teach you of Timbuktu. I can do more than dance. I am not the problem. I greet you with a smile. You put me in a pigeonhole, but I am versatile. Well, these conditions may affect me as I get older, and I am positively sure I have no chips upon my shoulders. Black is not the problem. Mother country, get it right. And just for the record, some of my best friends are white.
Look at the little glint in his eye, man. You gotta love that shit. God damn, he was good. God damn, he was good. Yeah. So, I mean, how do you even sum up someone like that? For me, Benjamin Zephaniah was a kind of a light, a kind of beacon, as I said. And the beautiful thing about the power of his work and him as a person is that you can't really take that away, right? It's the old thing about a man dies, but an idea lives on. And for me, that's the point, right? We should mourn the passing of the man, who was clearly a brilliant human, but his work lives on now. He lit a flame, is the way I'll look at it. He lit a beacon. And that flame can't be extinguished, because that flame is a part of humanity. It's exposing a part of humanity that made the world a better place, I think. And no matter how much the kind of the ghouls of this world, the people that we talk about regularly on this show, right, try to tell us that it's not there or to get rid of that light, they can only but obscure it. They can never get rid of it, because it's in us. It's a part of us. It's humanity in its rawest form, is how he put it forward, right? And for me, the way to best remember him and the way to best honour his life and his legacy, his work, is to carry on, to carry that flame forward. And that flame for me is summed up as, anti-racism, anti-capitalism, anti-imperialism. These things are what was the core of what he was about and what mattered to him and what should matter to us all, I think. And for me, the line that I talked about earlier, the one that inspired me as a kid, was in this particular poem. And I'll sort of finish this bit off with his poem Money. If I can find it. There it is.
This is a poem about a hobby I think most people have in common, collecting money. It's got a wonderful title. It's called Money. Money. Money make a rich man feel like a big man. It make a poor man feel like a hooligan. A one-parent family feels like a ruffian, and those who have it won't give you anything. Money makes your friend become your enemy. You start seeing things very superficially. Your life is lived very artificially, unlike those who live in poverty. Money inflates your ego, but money brings you down. Money causes problems anywhere money is found. Food is what we need. Food is necessary. Let me grow my food and make them eat them money. Money makes a singer sing a load of crap. Money keeps horses running round the track. Money makes marriages and money makes divorce, and money makes a student think about the course. Money makes commercials and commercials make money. And if you don't have money, then you watch more TV. Money can save us, but yet we feel doomed. Plenty money burns in a nuclear mushroom. Money can make you happy. Money can help you when you die. And those who have it continually live a lie. Children are dying. Spies are spying. Refugees are fleeing. Politicians are lying. And deals are done. And webs are spun. Loans keep the third world on the run. And the brother feels better than the brother next door, because the brother's got money, but this brother's got more. And the brother thinks the brother's not a brother because he's poor. When the brother kills the other, that is economic war. Economic war. Economic war. It may not be the east and the west anymore, but the north and the south. Third world fall out. Sugar and oil, that is what it's about. Economic war. Economic war. Shots fired from the stock market floor, so we work for a living. We try with so little time for chilling, like we're living a lie. Money makes a dream become reality. Money makes real life like a fantasy. Money has a habit of going to the head. I have some for a rainy day underneath my bed. Money problems make it hard to relax. Money makes it difficult to get down to the facts. Money makes you worship vanity and lies. Money is a drug with legal eyes. Money made me go out and rob. Then it made me go looking for a job. Money made the nurse and the doctor immigrate. Money buys friends you love to hate. Money made slavery seem alright. Money brought the Bible, and the Bible shone the light. Victory to the penniless at grassroots sources. We come to mash down market forces. We come to mash down market forces.
Rest in power, friend. Rest in power.